Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace. This is not my bookshelf. I am the author of 10 published young adult novels and now almost 2 complete first drafts in my fantasy series that's not published, obviously. And this is my preptober vlog. I just put the baby down for a nap and she sleeps right next to my bedroom. So when I film in there and I'm talking, she hears it. And when she's sound asleep, that's not a big deal because she sleeps through it. But when I just put her down, she's definitely still awake, definitely will wake up should I be filming in there, which is why I'm filming in this odd little corner. I wanted a bookshelf behind me, and this is like the only one in the house, other than mine. So anyway, Preptober. I have 3 things that I need to get done in Preptober. Number 1 is finish book 2 in my fantasy series inspired by Arthurian legend. I've realized editing one of my last videos talking about the series that I lose the R in Arthurian quite often. I call it my Arthurian, which seems odd, and I hadn't really noticed I was doing that until I was editing the video and was like, it's more of an R for Arthur. Let's keep the R in there. Anyway, that's really random. But yes, I need to finish book 2 this month, which I think I'm going to be able to do. I mapped it out last night, actually. And I think I roughly have around 15,000 more words to get through the end. That is a guess, okay? Because I was just looking at how many beats on the Save the Cat beat sheet I have left, and then guesstimating how many scenes that would be and how many words I typically have in a scene, etc. But I'm guessing around 15,000 words. And I do think I'll be able to do it because I also mapped out last night how many thousands of words I've been writing each week. And prior to joining the Quill and Cup writerly sisterhood thing that I am now in, I would write like maybe once a week or maybe not at all. And there wasn't a lot of writing happening other than the summer when I have free time and there's actually things happening. Typically, typically things are not happening. But since joining Quill and Cup in August, I have been writing anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 words every single week. It has been magical and perfect and amazing. So, because of that, I am convinced that I can get through book 2 with the 15,000-ish words in October. I can do it in the 4 weeks that I have. Plus, the Worldwide Write-a-thon is towards the end of October, and I'm planning on using that weekend specifically to wrap up whatever is left of Lance's story if I haven't finished it already. And then, apart from finishing book 2, I need to brainstorm and outline book 3 because I'm planning on writing book 3 for NaNoWriMo. So here's what my plan is. I'm going to sit down right now and brainstorm and write out all the things that I have in my head of how I think book 3 is going to go, the direction it's going to take, who it's going to be about, yada yada. And I might make a basic Save the Cat outline, but I'm not going to finalize my outline for book 3 until I have finished Lance's book. Because I feel like I need to know where it ends so I know where the next one needs to start to keep the momentum flowing with the story, you know. Also, if it goes past where I think it will go past, then it will be confusing on my outline because I'll be like, oh, that part already happened in the other book, not this one. Anyway, the point is I'm not finalizing my outline until I'm finished with Lance's story, but I also don't want to wait until I'm completely done with Lance's story before I do any brainstorming and outlining. Because if I did that, I'd probably not be doing any prepping for November until the last week of October. And I don't think that will go well. So, I'm going to brainstorm and maybe make a little outline now. And then I'll finalize the outline once I'm finished with Lance's book. This is the plan. I have pens. I have this notebook, which is my current work in progress. It has Messiah's story, which was book 1 in my fantasy series. It also has everything for book 2, which was Lance's story. Obviously, it's kind of exploding, doesn't really fit anymore. Great stuff. Over here, I have everything that I have on my other fantasy series that I kind of started years ago. Tried to reboot last year in April, apparently. I thought it was longer ago than that, but after looking it up, it was last year in April that I tried to reboot this story. Still didn't really go as far as I wanted to do. I didn't finish the first draft. I have it out because I recently realized that I can merge the two of them, and I'm very excited about it. I love what's happening. But anyway, I might need this, so I have it. And this is the current stuff. And I have a brand new notebook because the little one that has been for book 1 and book 2 is completely full of things. There's like 2 empty pages in here, maybe, which there they are. Wait, I found them. My empty pages. And then not so empty anymore. So maybe like 3 or 4 pages. Anyway, not enough for me to brainstorm, outline, and then like add more characters, more whatever. There's not enough space in here. So we're starting in a brand new notebook with book 3, probably also book 4 will go in here. I'm thinking I might transfer the important notes, so like the places where we currently are in the story, where we're ending, which will also be used in book 2, and then the characters. I'm going to transfer over the characters, not the ones who are dead, because lots of characters are dying, but the characters who are still alive. I'll put their character notes over here, so that when writing book 3, I don't have to have 2 notebooks out. I can just have the one. So I think I'm going to start with just the brainstorming. So I'm just going to free write whatever comes to mind about what I want for book 3. And then from there, I will maybe start transferring characters over. Because that's just sort of a tedious thing that has to be done. It's not really brainstorming or outlining. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. How are we going to organize this? I don't know. We're going to make page 1 brainstorming, and then I'll think about organization later. Here we go. I wrote brainstorming book 3. We have made progress. Okay. I basically know the plot points that I want, or like the overarching plot that I want. Do you say the word overarching or overarching? Usually I say arching, but just now I said arcing, which really confused me, and now my brain is spasming. Anyway, the point is, I know what I want to happen. I know where Messiah is going to be going, like, geography-wise, and what her quest is. I know what Lance is going to be doing, geography and quest-wise as well. And I know what the kingdom that has been a problem for the last 2 books is going to be doing. The problem is, here's the deal. So Lance is off in the Northern Kingdom doing his own little quest thing, which I can't really tell you about without spoilers, but like, he's doing his thing. Messiah is actually going to be going on a completely new quest this book. She's going to be going off into the Thundering Woods, which is the forest, which very few people venture into because scary things. But she is going there because we need allies in our fight with the other kingdom that's been causing us trouble for 2 books. Yeah, we need some serious allies because we failed in book 2. So, yes, we need help. Which is kind of what Lance is doing in the Northern Kingdom. There's also a lot of personal things happening up there. And Messiah is going to be going off into the forest because there is rumored to be a bunch of magical people living in the forest. And we will need their help because the country that is bothering us is full of magical people. And we have some. We have like Messiah and a handful of other magical people. But so far they've been failing to keep the Southern Kingdom at bay. So yes, Messiah's like, gotta go find some help. So that's what she's going to be doing. But that leaves the storyline of what Nothia, the Southern Kingdom, is doing as it's encroaching on our land and on our allies' land. So I'm going to need another character, I think, which makes sense. So in book 1, it was Messiah's perspective the whole time. And in book 2, it was a dual POV with Messiah's story and Lance's story. So I don't think it would be a problem to add a 3rd one in book 3. Maybe that's just the thing I'm going to do now. But I need to figure out who I should follow for that side of the thing. The war with Nothia, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a very big part of the book. But I need to figure out which character deserves to tell that story, I guess. And I need to figure out the emotional story arc of Messiah and Lance. Because I know where they'll be and kind of what they'll be doing, but I need to figure out how that journey will change them. Or, you know, how things are gonna go for them. Wow. That was a lot of talking for the 2 lines of writing that I did. Okay, of the available options, let's see. I was going to say them out loud, but that would tell you who died in the last 2 books, so I'm not going to tell them out loud. I don't think it can be any of the girls, because they're going to be with Messiah on her quest, because that's their job, to protect her and be with her. So it's going to have to be one of the guys. But which one? I initially thought Arturius, because it's a King Arthur story, so like, my Arthur should really have a part in the story at some point. But to be perfectly honest, I've been very content to just leave him as a side character kind of in the background this whole time. And I don't feel the need to change that. I'm not overly attached to Arturius. He doesn't really have a story to tell. He's content with his lot in life. He's not learning any grand lessons. He's fine. So he doesn't really have a story to tell. But I'm not entirely convinced that anyone else does. Ugh. I need someone to have a story to tell. Mainly so they can relate what's happening with the Nothia stuff, because I don't want it to fall into the background of the other 2 stories, because it's important. Problem is, I don't just want to pick a POV so that they can relate what's happening with the war. I need to pick someone who genuinely has something to say. They need to have an emotional journey that they need to go on to learn something or to change somehow or whatever. I don't know. Wait. Maybe. Maybe I do.
Are you recording yourself?
Yes. I have a YouTube channel for my writing stuff, so when I write, I typically vlog it. This video is just full of random places for me to sit and film. I'm actually hiding in the laundry room right now because it's TV time for the kiddos, and I really don't need spirit riding free to be in the background of this video. But anyway, earlier today my brother-in-law came home, and y'all know how I feel about filming when there's people around. I don't like people. So I stopped filming. I did, however, keep working on my brainstorming and outlining stuff. I thought I had a breakthrough in making Arturius's love interest the 3rd POV, because she's going to be with him fighting the war with that kingdom, which is the section of the story I needed someone to represent. But when it came to creating her character, I pulled out Save the Cat and was looking through the problem, the flaw, the shard of glass, like all the things that you know, your character needs to overcome something. That's their emotional arc, basically. And her internal story arc just was not coming. It was like pulling teeth, because Karis is a very well put together person. And perfect people are not fun to read about. So I decided that she was not a good fit, and I switched over to Messiah's love interest because he's one of the royal guard and he's with Arturius as well, and he'd be able to represent that war section of the plot that I need represented. But he also has something to overcome. He has a story to tell, and it also adds to Messiah's half of the story. The 2 of them are going to be able to complement each other well, even though they're on 2 separate journeys, so that's great. Lance's story almost always reflects Messiah's already, so that's good. So they all tied together really well, and I think I've got it. And so I did work out like kind of a Save the Cat outline. Like I said, I'm going to finalize it after I finish Lance's book, but I have the barest bones. I skipped some of the beats, so it's not a full outline at all, but I have the gist of what I want to happen, and I'm thinking that it's going to go well. I'm liking it so far.